So we're going to start lying down today, so you can take your time just making your way onto your mat. Any comfortable lying position will do, so just whatever feels right to you. Just taking a few moments just to come down onto your mat, get yourself comfortable, beginning to draw your attention inwards. And just starting to be aware of your breath. Just allowing your breath just to move easily in and out through your nose. Allow the breath to smooth out. The breath starts to even out, start to notice your body, just how it feels this morning. Maybe noticing any areas of tension or tightness. Try and allow that to relax. Feel the body just heavy on the mat. Start to feel yourself relax. In today's class, we're going to do a New Year class, and we're going to concentrate on yoga kind of concept, a Sanskrit word called Sankalpa. So in our world, we tend to create resolutions, New Year's resolutions, which tend to be quite negative in some aspects. So I'm not going to eat chocolate anymore, or I'm going to drink less, or whatever. But a Sankalpa is really an intention. So rather than actually denying yourself something, which is quite negative, you would just use the Sankalpa to notice how you feel when that urge comes upon you. So say it was you're not going to eat chocolate, so you might eat chocolate if you're either bored or if you're kind of sad or something. So really it would just be the intention to notice the feelings and then try to resolve the feelings. So just maybe at the moment when you're just lying there on your mat, maybe you create this intention or Sankalpa. Again, it's not a negative thing, but just a noticing and a more awareness of your body, if you like. Whether you set one or not, we'll start to move a little bit. So maybe start to just move your fingers and your toes to begin. And then we're just going to begin by bending your knees and drawing your knees in towards your chest. You can take your hands on your knees or your shins and maybe just start to circle the knees round just in one direction. So just taking your time, seeing how your hips feel, connecting different parts of your body towards the ground. And then when you're ready, we're going to hold the right knee in towards your chest, and we're going to extend the left leg just along the ground. So just keeping it connected to the ground. So maybe flex your left foot a little bit and start to press down gently through the back of your left thigh. So you've got quite a good connection with the ground. Just drawing the right knee in just a little bit more, just getting a stretch through the lower back and the hips. When you're ready, we're going to release your right hand. So keeping your left hand onto that right knee, and then we're going to start to draw the leg over towards the left side. So the right knee comes over towards the left. So coming in for a little twist. So releasing your right arm, maybe, and looking along your right hand. So we'll do a few twists today, and twists are really good for a New Year's practice. They kind of help with our digestion. So if we've kind of overdone it at Christmas and New Year, then twists are really good for
the digestive system. So just really gently. It also help energize us. So if you feel a little bit of a slump after New Year, then just so good for that as well. We'll take one more inhale. We'll start to come back to the center with that right knee, and then you're going to place your right foot on the ground. So we're going to come in for kind of a reclined tree pose. So you're going to take your right foot to the inner thigh of your left leg and let the right knee drop out to the side, and just be aware of your hips here. So still pressing down through your left calf and your left thigh. Try and make sure the hips are nice and even. Kind of gives it an indication of how it feels in tree pose as well. So you can always move your foot down the leg a little bit if it feels too much, or up the leg. And try and gently press the right knee towards the ground. And then if you want to, you don't necessarily have to, you keep your arms by your sides, but you can also take your arms overhead. Again, if that is too much for your low back, then you just bring the arms back round again. But still having energy in the pose, so trying to press down gently through your right knee. Try and press gently down through both hips. Relax and open through the chest. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. We'll slowly release your hands first if you've got them overhead. And then start to draw that right knee in towards the center again. And then we'll bend through your left leg and we'll draw both knees back in. And then maybe start to circle the hips. So if you can remember which direction you did the last time, then just moving in the opposite direction. It doesn't really matter, but just adding a little bit of movement there. We'll come back to center. We'll do that on the other side. So keep your left knee in, extending your right leg along the ground. So again, flex your right foot a little bit and press down through the back of your right leg and draw the left knee in. Maybe even flex your left foot a little bit as well. So keeping energy in the pose. So although we're doing these lying down, they're quite reclined. We still want to have energy in it rather than just lying there. When you're ready, we'll use your right hand. So you can release your left hand, maybe stretch it along the ground, and then start to draw your knee over towards the right side. So coming in for a twist. Maybe turn your head. You can turn onto the outside edge of your right foot if you want a little bit more. We'll take one more inhale. Slowly come back to the center with that left leg and then place your left foot on the ground. Again, we'll come in for that reclined tree. So we'll take your left foot to the inside of your right thigh, still pressing gently away through your flexed right foot. Still trying to press the hip bones down. Relax the upper body. Maybe take your arms overhead again if it feels right. Then do it. If it doesn't, then keep it where it is. And feel free to move your left foot. So if it feels too high up or too low down, you can always move it a little bit. Maybe a little bit of flexion in both feet. Press gently through the left knee, as if you're trying to take it towards the ground. We'll take one more inhale. When you're ready, slowly bring the arms back over and then start to draw that left knee in towards the center again. We'll bend both knees and draw your knees in towards your chest. So this time we'll take the hands behind the back of your thighs. We'll start to move back and forward. So just rolling through your spine, take your time. And just when you're ready, you can start to make your way up. So take your time and come up when you're ready. Okay, we'll move to all fours. So take your time coming round into that. And when you get here, we'll spread the hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And we'll start to move through some cat-cows first of all. So when you're ready, on an inhale, we'll just drop the belly, start to pull the chest forwards and through.
And then on that exhale, rounding through your upper back, bring your chin towards your chest. So start to move in your own way and in your own time. Stretching a little bit through your back. Okay, we'll do one more round of these. And then just make your way back in towards the center. So just coming in towards the middle. Now from there, we're going to move back towards your heels. So making your way back, just slide back. So as if you're coming into kind of a child's pose. And then as you inhale, we're going to move forward. So maybe you move a little bit further forward. So you come over your wrists a little bit. So we'll do that again. So exhale, start to move back. And on your inhale, start to move forward. So again, just take your own time. Maybe move further forwards and stretch your wrists. But just see how it all feels. Okay, we'll do that one more time. When you're ready, we'll make our way back just towards the middle. As you come into the center, we're going to tuck your toes and we're going to start to lift your hips up to downward facing dog. So take your time moving into it. Slide the hips back and be widen your feet a little bit or start to pedal your feet out, whatever really feels right to you and suits you. Move a little bit side to side, so move through your hips. When you're ready, come back into downward facing dog. And as you inhale here, we're going to lift the heels up and then we're going to move forward. So as you move forward, try and lift your hips and kind of slide forward. So you're coming forwards into that plank position. From there, we'll lower the knees towards the ground. And then you're going to bend your elbows and lower all the way to the ground. As you inhale, we'll come up to cobra. So draw your shoulders back, lifting up through your chest as you do that. On the exhale, slowly release back down. Now on the inhale here, you can move back to your knees if you'd like, or just tuck your toes and start to press yourself back to down dog. But just move it through it in your own way, see how that feels. Okay, we'll do that again. So inhale, lift your heels up, pull your belly in. So really use your core as you move forwards into that plank position. Try not to dip down through your back. Lower your knees. And then start to bend your elbows and lower down towards the ground. As you inhale, start to pull the chest back, so lift up. And on the exhale, release all the way down. Again, you've got an inhale here, so you could move back onto your knees or just tuck your toes on the exhale and press yourself all the way up and back, downward facing dog. We'll do that one more time. So again, inhale, lift the heels, draw the belly in, slide forwards into that plank position. Lower your knees and bend the elbows, lower all the way down. As you inhale, draw the shoulders back, lifting through your chest, peeling up. And on the exhale, slowly release down. On the inhale, maybe move to your knees or tuck your toes, start to lift and press back. Downward facing. And when you get there, we'll just holding down dog for a few breaths. So again, adjust your position if you need to, maybe still pedal out your feet, or maybe concentrate on pushing up and out with your hands and pulling your belly in. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. When you're ready, we're going to lift both heels up, but this time just lower your knees down so you're coming back into an all fours position. From there, we're going to step your right foot up towards the top of your mat. So just taking your time, stepping it through, and maybe slide back a little bit through your left leg. We are going to come in for a twist here. So you're going to keep that left hand down. The right hand can go onto the right knee, or maybe lift and open up through your right fingertips. So coming back into that twist,
Just watch your front knee so it doesn't kind of drop out to the side, but kind of hug it in towards the middle a little bit more. Belly pulls in. And try and get the rotation, the twist from your belly button. Take one more deep inhale. And slowly and carefully release your right hand down towards the ground. From there, we're going to tuck the toes on the back legs and the left leg, and the knee lifts up off the ground. Now you have an option here, so you could just step back to down dog if you want. Take a single leg down dog. As you inhale, we're going to lift and reach up through that right leg and the leg down dog. Good. Right. From there, lower your foot to the ground, so come back into that down dog position. And then as you inhale, we'll lift the heels and we'll float forwards into that plank again. And then lowering your knees down, bend your elbows, lower all the way down to the ground. As you inhale, start to draw the shoulders back, lift your chest, cobra. On the exhale, start to make your way back. So again, you could take that inhale if you'd like, or just on that exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward dog. And take a few breaths there. So again, if you need to adjust. And spread the hands, use all of your fingers to push up out of the hands and out and up of the shoulders. One more deep inhale. When you're ready, lift your heels, lower the knees, come back down, all fours. Okay, we'll do the left side. So we'll step your left foot forward. So take your time. Again, maybe sliding back a little bit through the right leg. And then coming in for that twist. We'll take the right hand down, left hand onto the left knee. And maybe start to reach and open through your fingertips. Again, just take it to where it feels, right? Still let the hips drop down as you're opening up through your chest a little bit more. And draw in a little bit through that left hip and the left knee. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. When you're ready, slowly release your hand down towards the ground. From there, we'll tuck the toes under on the right leg, so lifting the right knee up off the ground. So your choice, back to down dog, or lift to that single leg down dog, taking that left leg up towards the sky. Now then, when you're ready, move to downward facing dog, so both feet on the ground. As you inhale, lift the hips, float forwards into plank, lower your knees, bend your elbows, lower all the way down. As you inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, lower down. Again, take that inhale or tuck the toes and lift back up, downward facing dog. Well done. Maybe give your head a little shake. Loosen off any tension in your neck. One more deep inhale. When you're ready, lift both heels up. And this time I'm going to walk up towards the top. So take your time, just walking your feet up towards the top of your mat. When you get there, separate your feet, so about hip distance apart, and bend your knees a lot. Draw your belly in. We're going to come in for a little twist here. So you could bend your right knee and just place your hand onto your right leg somewhere. You could have a block here, so in between your feet, or maybe place your hand, if you can, reach the floor in between your feet. And we're coming in for a twist. So we're going to reach up through your left hand. So rotating round towards the left side. Good, just breathing deeply. Well done. Okay, take one more inhale. Slowly release that left hand down. As you inhale here, just lengthen forward. So stretch your spine out a little bit. And then on the exhale, fold back in towards your legs. As you inhale, reach up, so rising all the way up to the top, take your time. And on the exhale, just fold all the way back down towards your legs. So again, we'll come in for the other side. So bending into that left knee a little bit. So left hand on the left leg, maybe onto the ground or a block, and then reaching up through that right hand. Maybe look up towards your hand if you can, but if it doesn't feel that right, then don't bother. Okay, when you're ready, we'll release that hand all the way back down again. When you're ready, inhale, lengthen forward, so stretching through your spine. On the exhale, just folding back in. As you inhale, reach up, so rising all the way up. And on the exhale, just folding all the way back down again. Well done. Inhale, lengthen. And on the exhale, we're going to take the hands down. We're going to step back with your right leg this time. So we'll step back into a lunge position. So again, when you get there, you could do the twist that we're going to do from here. So you've got an option here. So you could keep your right hand on the ground and then just lift and open through your left hand. So that would be option one. Option two, we're going to lift up. So we're going to lift the chest up and then reach the arms up. Just for a breath. And then we're going to come in for a little twisted lunge here. So we're going to bring the palms towards the center. And then your right elbow is going to go to the outside of that left knee. So we're just rotating around a little bit. Again, if that feels too much, you can always change your mind and take your right hand down to the ground. Reach up with your left hand. See how it feels. Again, think about where the rotation is coming from. Keep squeezing in through that right thigh and through the left thigh. So draw your thighs together. Good. One more deep inhale. Now release your hands back down towards the ground. Good. From there, we'll just step up towards the top of your mat. So take your time. Good. So feet hip distance apart again. Inhale, lengthen forwards. Exhale, folding back in. As you inhale, reach up, so rise all the way up. And on the exhale, we'll fold back in. Lengthen on the inhale. Good. On the exhale, take your hands down. And we'll do the same thing with the left leg. So your left leg is going to stick all the way back. And you could have an option of placing your back knee on the ground here if you want to. So just see how you feel when you get there. So from here, again, you could come in for this twist. Left hand down, right hand reaching. Otherwise, inhale, lift the chest and reach up with the arms for a breath. Good. We'll bring the palms towards the center and we'll take that little twist over towards that right side. So your left elbow outside the right knee. Start to pull yourself around gently. So pull back a little bit with your left elbow. Good. Give it a little squeeze. Very nice. Okay, take one more deep inhale. Come back to the center. We'll release the hands back down towards the ground again. And then we're going to step up towards the top. So bending through your back legs, step it in. Feet maybe a little bit apart. Lengthen on the inhale. Hold back in on the exhale. As you inhale, reach up. And on the exhale this time, we'll bring the palms together just in front of your heart. So maybe close your eyes, see how you feel. The Sankalpa can also be a resolution to kind of change something. So treating everything as new. So not just the new year, but you can apply it to like each day is new and you can change whatever you do in that day. That's giving us kind of a fresh start, a new beginning. And even in our yoga practice, it could be like, the next time I go to my yoga mat, I'm going to be kinder to myself and I'm going to choose the options that suit me better. Or even down to the pose level. So when I come back into, I don't know, side angle, I'm not going to try and go all the way down because I know that it's not good for me. I'm going to stay up a little bit. Okay, when you're ready, we'll release the hands and open the eyes. So we're going to come in for our balance now. We're going to do a little kind of twisted version of a leg lift. If you want to, you could use a strap here. If you've got one and you wanted to use it, then you can definitely grab your strap. So if you've got your strap, we're going to stand, and again, use the wall if you would like, but we'll stand with the feet hip distance. We'll stand on our right leg first and we'll draw the belly in. So if you're using the strap, you're just going to use it around the front of your knee. So we're going to come into it with the knee bent first of all, and you'll just use that to hold your knee up. And then if you're doing the twist, then you'll take both of your straps into your right hand. If you're not, then you're just going to have your right hand just onto that knee, and you can reach behind you with your left hand. Just see how that feels. And if that feels okay for you, then you'll just stay there. If you wanted a little bit more, you could take your hand underneath the left leg and then extend the left leg forward. You can also use your strap on your foot rather than on the knee and extend it forwards. Or if you wanted to, and you can, you could take hold of either your foot or hook your big toe and take it forwards. And then we're reaching back with your left hand. And the real challenge is to look behind you. So to look at your left hand. And again, if you don't want to, or you don't feel that you need to, then you don't. You just stay where you are. And just get your breath. Focus on your gaze. And breathe there. And remember, it is a twist. So feel that rotation to the belly button. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. And then we'll slowly start to release. So you can release your feet back together. Maybe bring your hands back together. Maybe close your eyes for a moment. And just see how that feels. Okay, we'll come in. We'll try the other side. So separating your feet again. Standing on your left leg. So again, if you're using the strap, you can either place it around your knee or you can place it on the ball of underneath the ball of your foot and extend it forward. So both of your straps will then be into your left hand and your right hand would reach back. If you're not using the strap, either hands on the leg. So again, left hand stays there, the right arm reaches back. You could use your hand underneath the leg and extend through your leg. Or if you can, you could grab your big toe or your foot and take it behind you. But just see how it all feels without feeling that you need to be anywhere. Think about your breath. Think about your gaze. So where is it? Maybe just on a spot, maybe your third eye. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. Slowly start to release. Bringing your feet back together and your hands back together. Close your eyes. So Sankalpa, the actual Sanskrit word, means will or determination. Probably have quite a lot of that in yoga. Probably don't need as much, but it's a useful concept to try and cultivate. Okay, when you're ready, we'll release the hands, we'll open the eyes. We're going to do some standing postures now. So there will be some twists in there. You just do the ones that you want and you can leave out any that you do not wish to do. So we'll start just at the top of your mat. We're going to start just with a little half sun salutation to come into it. So you can have your feet together or you can separate them, really up to you. Relax the shoulders. And then as you inhale, we'll start to reach up with your arms. So maybe looking up towards your thumb. On the exhale, we'll fold forwards towards your legs. So taking your time. On the inhale, just lengthen, so stretching through your spine. And on that exhale, we'll fold back in. So on the inhale, we're going to take your hands down. We'll step back with your right leg and we're going to move into a high lunge first of all. So that right foot steps back. From there, as you inhale, start to lift your chest up. So we're coming back in to that little twist that we did earlier. So relax your shoulders. And again, if you don't want to come in for that twist, then don't worry about it. Don't do it. We'll bring the hands towards the center. And then we're going to twist over to the outside of that left knee. So just taking your time, moving over, drawing the shoulders back. Okay, breathing deeply. Just see how it feels as you come into it again. So sometimes it feels a little bit different. We'll take one more deep inhale. Now from there, releasing your hands down towards the ground. I'm going to step that right foot back in. So we're going to come into a chair pose as you come in. So bend the back knee, step it in, bend both knees, separate your feet if you'd like, and come into chair. Good. In that chair pose, we are going to come over and do a little twist, but we're going to twist to the right hand side. So we'll bring the hands in and we'll move over to the outside of your right knee. So draw yourself around. Again, have a little check with your knees. Make sure they're pretty level.
And if you don't want to do the twist, just stay in chair. So sink the hips a little bit, feel twist to your belly button. Draw your right elbow back. Okay, take one more deep inhale. Now back towards the center. We'll just fold towards your legs again. Lengthen on the inhale. Fold back in on the exhale. And on the inhale, we'll step back with your right leg again. But this time we're going to move to warrior two. So step back with your right leg. Again, align your toes towards the long edge of your mat. And then start to move up to warrior two. So taking your time to open up into that warrior two position. Okay, so reach to your fingertips, look along your front hand, open up through your chest. Okay, we'll take one more inhale there. Now we're going to move into side angle. So lengthening forward. So we're going to bend into your front leg and reaching up and over. So just see how it feels, first of all. Good, in that side angle. So if you do want to come down, then please do. So that was just an illustration of looking after ourselves. But if you want to come lower down, you could use a block to the inside of your front foot, or you could take your hand all the way to the ground and then reach up and over. So just see how it feels when you get there. And again, keep stretching through the side of your body. So it's an intense side stretch. Very, very nice. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. And when you're ready, we'll start to move back up again. So taking your time, move back up. So into warrior two again. Good. Just opening up through your hips, opening up through your chest. Now from there, we're going to come into a twisted version of side angle. So we're going to bring the hands towards the center. We're then going to rotate your chest up towards the front leg, so that top leg. Now we're going to twist over to the outside of the knee again, so very much like we do when we're in our high lunge. So if you find it difficult, you can always come into the high lunge and do it again. So we lengthen forwards, and then taking that elbow to the outside of your front knee, pull back a little bit on your top elbow and rotate round. So just breathing deeply. Very well done. Again, if it's too much, come out of it. And if you feel it's too much when you get there, then release it. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. When you're ready, start to release the twist. Rise back up, so come back into that warrior two position. And then we'll release both hands down towards the ground. As you do that, we'll turn on the toes of your back leg and we'll step back to downward facing dog. Good, so just breathing deeply when you get there, suspend your fingers. Well done. We'll take one more deep inhale. When you're ready, lift both heels up, looking forwards, and you can either step or you can walk up towards the top of your mat. So just take your time as you get there. Good. As you inhale, lengthen forwards. And on the exhale, just folding back in. As you inhale, we'll take the hands down. So this time we're going to step back with your left leg first. So left leg steps back. And we're moving into that high lunge again. So as you inhale, start to lift up and then reach up with your arms. So again, relax the shoulders, pull your belly in, make sure the hips are pretty level. And then bring the hands towards the center and we'll come into that twist once more. So we're moving to the outside of that right knee. So draw the right elbow back, pull your belly in a little bit, breathe. About squeezing the inner thighs towards one another. Very, very nice. Okay, take one more deep inhale. When you're ready, back towards the middle, we'll release the hands down towards the ground. And then we're going to step up towards the top. So again, we're coming into that chair position. So Utkatasana. So we bend both knees, reaching the arms forwards and up. Good. Well done. Okay, so we'll come in for this twisted chair on the left side. So we'll bring the hands in and we'll take it over to the outside of the left knee. So draw yourself around, pull your belly in. Watch the knees are pretty level still. Good, sink the hips. Very nice. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. Come back towards the center and then release your hands back down towards the mat again. As you inhale, lengthen. And on the exhale, just fold back in. As you inhale, we'll take your hands back down. We're going to step back with your left leg again. So left leg steps back into warrior two. So the heel is down, toes turning forward. Rise up into that warrior two position. So take your time as you come into it. So sink into warrior two. Release the shoulders. Good. And energetically move into it. So we're not just there, but we're using every muscle in our body. We're reaching through your fingers. It's squeezing through the legs. Maybe you can sink a little bit deeper, but you just move in as your body opens up, so without forcing. And we'll take one more inhale. So when you're ready, we're going to move into side angle again. So maybe taking your forearm down, reaching your arm over. Maybe you grab a block, taking it down a little bit further, but just where it feels like the right thing for you. So get that feeling of stretching, of rotating the chest a little bit. Okay, very nice. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. We'll start to move up again, so take your time. So we're just coming to warrior two once more. And then from here, you can either just stay here or bring your hands together and start to rotate round. So you're coming up towards the front leg again. So we're moving into this twisted version of side angle. So we move forwards a little bit and then taking that elbow to the outside of your knee, rotate round. Again, if it doesn't feel right, then you adjust it. Or if it feels too much, you come out of it. You just do what feels like the right thing. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. Come back towards the middle and then release both hands back down towards the ground. Good. Okay, turn on the toes of your back leg, so you're back into this lunge position. From there, we'll step back to downward facing dog, so take your time moving back. Take a breath or two there, so maybe pedal out your feet a little bit. Okay, as you inhale, we'll move forwards into that plank position, so lift your heels, lift your hips, belly pulls in as we float forwards and through. And then here we'll lower the knees and we'll just bend the elbows and just lower yourself all the way to the ground. So you get a little rest there. So when you come round, bring your elbows, arms round and drop your head down towards your arms. Maybe if you created a Sankalpa at the beginning of class, an intention, maybe you revisit it now, just see how it feels, if it was something to do with the class, and just see how you got on with it. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to move up just into our Sphinx position. So we're going to bring the hands underneath. So the elbows are underneath your shoulders. Spread your hands. Make sure your hands here are kind of shoulder width apart. And then start to think about your lower body as well. So in your lower body, the legs should be quite relaxed. The pubic bone is down, but your belly button is lifting. And then we want to get a sense of drawing the chest forward. So again, if you can imagine that there's little suction pads on your fingers and you're pulling yourself forwards and through to get that really nice stretch through the front of your body.
Done. We'll take one more breath and then slowly just release yourself back down towards the ground. As you come down, we're going to do a little stretch, which is actually a yin stretch, but it's quite a nice one. It's called bow tie. So you're going to take your right hand and you're going to stretch it over to the left corner of your mat. And then you're going to take your left arm over the top and stretch it over towards the right corner of your mat. So you kind of create this kind of bow tie position. It's a really nice stretch for the shoulders. And then if you can, just lower your head down. So sometimes there's a nice little gap there. Sometimes there's not. So, you know, just do what you can. And the more you walk your fingers away, then the tighter the stretch becomes. You just want it to feel a stretch. So any of these things, it's a stretch. It's not, shouldn't feel more than that. There shouldn't be any pinching or sharp pains, but just stretch. Okay, when you're ready, we'll slowly release that. So come back into Sphinx for a moment. So release your arms, bring them back in. Again, start to sort out the lower body. So pubic bone down, lift your belly button, draw yourself forward. So start to feel that you're feeling like you're pulling yourself through. And when you're ready, slowly release back down. So we'll do that on the other side. So we'll take your left arm on the bottom, so left arm over towards the right corner, and then taking your right arm over the top, so towards that left corner. And then again, start to get a sense of stretching, and then maybe start to lower your head down. See how it feels. You can always move into stretches more, and you can always back out of them as well. Done. Okay, when you're ready, slowly start to release the arms. Maybe just bring yourself into child's pose. So we'll take the hands under your shoulders. Push yourself up and press back to child's pose. As you come in, you might want to widen your knees and have your feet together. And if you want to, you could stretch your arms out in front, which will stretch your shoulders a little bit. And then if you want to, you don't have to, but you could bring the palms of your hands together, so into a prayer position, and then lift the hands up and over your head. So you take your thumbs to the lower part of your neck. And then walk the elbows forward and walk the elbows in a little bit to stretch through the back of the arm. Okay, when you're ready, we'll slowly release the hands. And then bring your hands and walk them back towards your knees. So just taking your time, coming back up again. Now from there, we're going to bring our legs to the front. You're going to widen your feet quite a bit here. So your feet are quite wide apart. And then you can take your hands behind you, but we're just going to windscreen wiper the legs over towards the right. So just move both legs to the right. Make sure they're not going to touch each other in any way. So widen them a bit more if you need to, and then move them over towards the left. So just up and over to the right and to the left. Now, if you want, you can do this without the hands behind you. So we've done this before. But again, just bring your hands to the center. Take them over to one side. And then lift up and over towards the other side. So really using your core as you do that. I tend to move forward, so I will have to readjust in a moment, but just take your time. If you move forward as well, it doesn't matter. You always move back. Now we'll do one more. We'll move over to the right and we'll stay at the right hand side. So when you get to the right, we'll just stay there. And we'll move back a little bit because I've slid forward. There you go. So we're in this kind of mermaid position. Now, if you want to, you can just stay here. Otherwise, we'll take your right hand, so it goes behind the back of your right thigh. And then using your right hand, we push ourselves up. So we lift the hips and we reach up and back. Again, you could do this with your hips down. But if you want to, and try and get a sense of kind of pushing the hips forwards and up. So you're lifting up through your hips. And just breathing there deeply. Okay, when you're ready, slowly release down. Release yourself back down. And then from there, we're going to fold forward. So you can either optionally fold forward towards the right shin. So you just move forward, maybe coming onto your elbows. If you want a twist, then you can turn and fold back towards the right thigh. So again, you just turn your body, move towards the right thigh, and then fold in there. And it will give you a nice twist to your hips, but just see how that feels. So over towards the left thigh again, maybe all the way down. Maybe you come onto elbows or blocks. And then we'll slowly come back up. So using your hands, rise back up again. Good. Bring your legs back towards the center. And we'll move a little bit side to side again. So widen your legs, maybe take your hands off the ground. So we'll move over to the left side first. Good. Back up and over to the right. Excellent. And just one more time to the left. And then we'll stay at the left when you get there. And again, when you get there, we'll take your left hand, so just behind the back of that left thigh a little bit, and then start to push on the hand, lifting up through your hips, reaching up and back, so kind of over towards the right side a little. So lift the hips, and push them forwards a little bit. One more breath. Slowly release all the way back down. So again, your choice. So you can fold forward over that right shin, or you can turn and fold over the left thigh. And again, just rest when you get there. So release it down. Just a little stretch through your hips, through your low back. Okay, when you're ready, slowly and carefully start to make your way back up again. So taking your time to come up. Good, release your legs back towards the middle. And then bring your legs out in front. So we'll come in for Janushirasana, which again is kind of like the position that we started in. We're going to keep your right leg straight. Bend your left leg in, so just to wherever it suits you. Support the knee if you need it, or allow the knee to soften down. And then as you inhale, reaching up, you could use a strap here if you'd like as well. And on the exhale, just folding towards that right leg. So hands on the leg, the ankle, maybe you take hold of the foot. And try and lengthen through your spine, so stretching forwards rather than concentrating on going down too much. Find your drishti on your toes. Find your breath. When you're ready, we'll slowly start to move up. So take your time. Release your legs, and then we'll just change sides. So left leg flexed and straight, right leg bending. Again, ease it down or use a block. Turn your body so you're aligning your spine really along that left leg. Inhale to reach, and reach forwards on the exhale. Again, take what you can without gripping or grasping, but move in with ease and with a gentleness.
When you're ready, we'll slowly release, start to rise back up again. Take your time. Release both legs out. And we'll come in for Paschimottanasana. So you can do this with either bent legs or straight legs. It's really up to you what you want to stretch. As you inhale, we'll reach with your arms again. And on the exhale, just folding it in. So maybe hook your big toes, maybe take hold of your feet, maybe just have your hands on your legs. Start to bend the knees if you want to stretch more into your back. So sometimes if the hamstrings are really tight, then there's very little stretch in your spine. The bending in the knees will just allow the spine and the hips to stretch out a little bit more. When you're ready, we'll slowly start to release, start to rise back up. Okay, we'll start to make our way onto our back. So take your time, just coming down in your own way. We'll do a little bridge when we come down. So again, if you want to use a block here, you could. But separate your feet, release your arms, and as you inhale, start to lift the hips up. So just to any position. And as you come in, if you're on your shoulders, maybe into like your fingers in the low back and start to press through your upper arms, just if it feels like the right thing. When you're ready, we'll release. So you've got your hands, just release the hands and lower yourself back down to the ground. So when you get there, we'll take a little twist here. So we'll lift up through your right leg and we're just going to wrap just over the top of the left leg. So just taking a kind of, so that there's no gap between your thighs here. It's quite a high up cross. And then just press through your left foot and move your hips to the right a little bit, and then drop your legs over towards the left side. Just again, when you get there, if it feels too much, you can always release your legs a little bit. We're going to keep the legs crossed, but we're going to twist in the other way. So bring your legs back towards the center. Maybe push through your left foot and push your hips to the left this time, and then drop your legs over towards the right side. So keeping the legs crossed, just move the other way. Well done. We'll come back to the center. We'll do that on the other side. So release that right leg, and then lift your left leg up and over the right. So again, quite a high, tight cross. So if you want to use your right foot, just push your hips over towards the left, drop your legs to the right side. You can turn your head here if you want to look along the opposite hand, then you can do that. Back and towards the center. So again, using your right foot, press down and push your hips a little bit to the right and drop your legs a little bit to the left. And then when you're ready, back in towards the middle, we'll just uncross the legs. And maybe draw your knees in for a moment, just taking any little movements that you want to. So we're going to come in for Shavasana now, so our final relaxation. So if you do want to grab socks or a jumper or something, and please do that. Keep yourself warm.
And then just start to make yourself comfortable. Start to bring awareness to the soles of your feet, to the top of your feet and your toes. Move that awareness to your ankles, to the front of your shin and the back of your calf. Send that awareness to the front of your knee and the back of your knee. Shift your awareness to the top of your thigh, to the front of the thigh and the back of your thigh. Move your awareness to your pelvic area, to your hips, to the front of your hips, to the lower back. Move your awareness to your low belly, to your upper abdomen, to your spine, to your mid-spine, to the upper back and shoulders. Allow your awareness to drift to the front of your shoulders and your chest. Move your awareness to your hands, to the palm of your hands and the back of your hands, to your fingers. Move the awareness to your wrists, to the lower arm and the upper arm. Shift your awareness to the back of your neck and your throat. Move your awareness to your jaw. Try to soften your jaw. Release your teeth. Relax your cheeks. Soften your forehead. Release any tension in the crown of your head. Bring your awareness to your whole body. Relax your whole body. When you're ready, we'll take a deep inhale through your nose. And then just sigh it out your mouth.
can do that again. So just deeply inhale and then let it go. We'll start to move a little bit, so maybe through your fingers, through your toes. Maybe taking your arms and just stretching them overhead. As you bring your arms over, we'll start to bend the knees a little. Maybe drawing them in towards your chest. And just move a little bit. If you like to, you can roll over onto your side. So that is an option if you like. And then just when you're ready, without rushing, you'll start to come up. Just finding a comfortable seat when you're ready. Bring the palms together just in front of your heart. So leaving a little gap just to signify an openness in your heart. Thank you so much for coming along and practicing with me this morning. I hope you enjoyed the twist that we did and the little Sankalpa. Namaste. Thank you very much. I'll stop the recording and then you can mute yourself if you like.